Top of the morning, everyone. My name is Tshidi, and I'm back with another video. And today's video is focusing on LinkedIn etiquette. What should you and what should you not do on this particular platform? It's a beautiful platform. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've experienced, some of the things that I've done. I've had an opportunity to actually get some of the jobs that I've had because of some of these things that I'm going to talk to you guys about. So, this is not about what I've heard from other people. I'll tell you a short story. When I wanted to move to Switzerland with my family, I remember I reached out to one of the agencies, and the one comment that I got from the agency was just plan 2 to 3 years of not finding a job in Switzerland. That was the comment that they said to me. And they said, forget about getting a job in the next 2 years. Just put aside 2 to 3 years, you won't get a job in Switzerland, mainly because you don't speak the language. Now, imagine you're literally about to pick up your family and move over to another country, and a recruiter tells you, plan 2 to 3 years because you're not getting this job. I'm glad I didn't listen to this recruiter at the time because if I did, I probably wouldn't have done some of these things that I'm going to speak to you guys about. So it is very, very important that you implement them in the tone and in the language that you know best how to use. But it's very, very, it's things that will help you get opportunities where other people told you that you couldn't get those opportunities. First, I'm going to start with just about LinkedIn as a professional network. It's got over 1 billion users. LinkedIn recently just celebrated, crossing over 1 billion users. It is an amazing platform. As a professional network, I've met quite a lot of people that have helped me get opportunities, and even the jobs that I keep on getting, it's mainly because of the fact that I've built the right kind of networks and I'm reaching to people in the right kind of way on LinkedIn. So, but let's start with the don'ts of this platform. What are the things that you should not do when it comes to LinkedIn? And we're going to start with the first one is don't overshare personal information. A lot of people on social network tends to speak about so many different things. They speak about things that are so personal that it's very difficult, where it leads people into the shame. I'm not saying don't share milestones. Like, for example, the birth of your child or something amazing that's happened. You've been working very hard to get a car. You finally got a car and you want to celebrate that with your professional network. Fantastic. Go ahead and do that. But there are certain things where the posts are so hectic that even for most of us, we don't even know how to do. So avoid oversharing personal details that cannot necessarily add any value into growing your network in such a way that people get to want to know a bit more about you and the journey that you've actually gone through. Number two is avoid spamming. With the spamming one, I'm one of those people that I pride myself in responding to almost everybody that sends me a message on LinkedIn. I try very hard to make sure that I do that. However, there's also been situations where I've gotten messages on LinkedIn where it's just hi Tshidi. The second thing that I've also realized about this topic of avoid spamming is that people tend to type messages on LinkedIn, obviously on their phone, and they tend to use it the same way that they use WhatsApp. And what they would do is they'll click one message, type send, next message, send, next message, send. And you come into your phone, and the first thing that you see is like, "Ooh, I've got so many messages. How many people have been reaching out to me?" Only to find that it's this one person that actually just sent, click send, click send, click send. So avoid spamming in the sense that type your message, think about it, read through it, and then send it to that person at one go. Remember, some people have got notifications that actually make a sound every time there's a message that comes into that inbox. Number three, don't badmouth your previous employers. Now, I know there are times where things really go badly, where you actually not the happiest person possible. LinkedIn is, as a professional platform, is not a place where you can go air out your grievances, where you go out there and say, "Oh, this person has been horrible, this person has been horrible." Remember that the assumption is always that if you're coming in and bad mouthing your previous employer, there's always two sides to a story. Maybe you are not a performer and you're just now becoming a victim, or maybe you were this and now you're turning everybody into being the monster, but you were the monster in that scenario. So stop bad mouthing, or try to avoid bad mouthing your previous employer, because also your next employer avoids hiring you because of the fact that they're worried that in the future, you're going to be doing the exact same thing to them. Number four, refrain from controversial, polarizing posts. I think in the last couple of weeks or in the last couple of months, there's been a lot that's been happening politically. There's been a lot that's been happening from globally that is making a lot of people share their views that are sometimes very polarizing. And some of the views are things that they would share from Twitter, and then they'll take those views into a LinkedIn platform, and it creates this environment in the space where it's just so politically charged to a point where sometimes people don't even know how to relate to you in that particular scenario. Fully understand that we go through different things, but avoiding polarizing posts helps people not to avoid you, because the problem is people tend to avoid you if they think that noise is around you. They tend to not necessarily want to associate with you because of the noise that you bring around to them. Number 5 is don't ignore privacy settings. Now, customizing your privacy settings is one of the key things. It's one of the most important things that you can ever do, because your LinkedIn profile is your professional network. If people know who you are, if it gets compromised, people are going to send out messages to some of your networks. And some of those networks are people that, you just want to connect with on a professional network and not necessarily talk about all the other things that are always happening. So I always say it's important that you try to make sure that your privacy settings are as per what LinkedIn will probably prefer. And then number 6, which is the last one, is avoid inappropriate profile elements. Like, for example, includes using unprofessional profile pictures. Now, also, the other thing that we've also seen is vague headlines. I've seen people that call themselves the chicken chasers of all the world, or you might go call yourself the sales guru of number one in the universe, or whatever you might, the Martian, whatever. It doesn't help you because most people don't understand what that means. So avoid those things. Your profile should clearly be something that states what you do and who you are. And then the other thing that I think this is a bonus point when it comes to LinkedIn is that I know there's a darker side of LinkedIn that exists. The messages that they get in their inboxes, which are very unsolicited, not exciting. And yeah, avoid those things if you are one of those people that does that, because it doesn't help you from a career point of view. Now, I've done the don'ts, and obviously it's taken quite a bit of time. Now, let's talk about the do's. Now, this is what I've done. For anybody that knows me, my LinkedIn profile is the most up to date profile potentially out there. I'm one of those people that spends, mainly because I'm a recruiter, I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. And that also means that I spend a lot of time trying to see what I can do with my profile. So, number 1 is complete your and update your LinkedIn profile. My LinkedIn profile is so up to date that just 2 days ago, I updated this banner on my LinkedIn profile that's there. I've already updated it so that it talks the message that I wanted to talk. So that's the first thing. Make sure that you actually update your LinkedIn profile, because in most cases, that is your resume to the world that we cannot always get access to. So update your profile, make sure that people know what you're doing, make sure that where you are. For example, when I was moving to Switzerland, I made sure that when my job stopped, I updated my profile to say, this time because of a family move, so that people know exactly what is happening in my profile. And I try to update the pictures that I've got on my LinkedIn. As you've seen, they're different colors just so that it stands out. But I do try to make sure that everything is there. My summary gets updated every year. I make sure that my summary is updated. And now LinkedIn is actually allowing you to use AI to help you summarize your LinkedIn profile. You don't even need to have anything more advanced. Just go into your LinkedIn, open your summary, and you'll see that part that says update your profile with AI, and it allows you to be able to do that. Number 2, be active and engage genuinely. I do what I do because I love what I do. I engage with as many people as possible. Now, for some of the people that have been watching from the beginning, I mentioned that I moved here, and when I reached out to a recruiter, they told me to prepare for 2 to 3 years before I could actually find a job. Now, I was active in my engagement to a point where I reached out to as many people as possible before we even moved to Switzerland. I started reaching out and connecting to some of the people. I've got a colleague of mine that yesterday, just 2 days ago, I was actually talking to her, and I said, I didn't realize that she was one of the first few people that I sent a message to connect with. And luckily, she did connect with me. And the message was specific. It was saying, Hi, I'm so and so. My family and I are moving to Switzerland in the next few months, and I just wanted to connect with professionals in the network in that particular area. And that's basically that. And I sent the message, and that was beautiful because this person happens to be somebody that I work very closely with on a daily basis. Number three, personalized connection requests. Connection request that comes on LinkedIn, there's normally these requests where it's a basic one. It allows you to click and say, would like to connect to the network. Doesn't work anymore. Personalized connection request. Write a message that say, hi, I'm so and so. I'm connecting with you because of this. I would like to connect with you because of that. I see you in the same industry that I'm currently in. I'm looking for people in this particular industry so I can network and connect with them and learn with them. Or I see there's an opportunity in your company that's focused on this, and you're one of the people that seems to be in that particular team. I'd like to connect with you because of this. So make sure that your connections are personalized. And that's why I'm saying this particular individual, Diana, is one of the people that I send a personalized connection. Number four, seek recommendations. Recommendations are fantastic because recommendation and endorsements are where people speak about how they've worked with you. It could be, they're basically references that are not necessarily the formalized references from the company. It's references of people that have interacted and networked with you. And in most cases, I'm one of those people that if I ask for a reference or for an endorsement, I would normally give one back because in most cases, whenever I ask for that, it's somebody that I've worked with close enough to a point where I can write something about them. And that's one of the beautiful things about those endorsements. It's very good because sometimes you'll find that the person that gives that network, that recommendation is somebody within the same space of your next future manager. Number five, use a professional tone. I mean, if you look at all my posts, guys, my posts always start with top of the morning. It always focuses on exactly what we're looking at. It's a professional tone. Yes, some people they're a bit funnier and they can put things that are funny. LinkedIn, as we mentioned, is still a professional network. There are people that will actually love how you talk, but chat lingo, where you actually write the TH or TAX to say thanks or whatever it is, like the abbreviations that we use on social media. For some of the people that use that, unfortunately, I still write the full sentences. If you're one of those people that still writes those things, I would say avoid that on LinkedIn. If you have to sit down and type the message, avoid sending personalized messages where you're typing as if you're typing on WhatsApp. And then number six, be responsive. If someone reaches out to you, respond promptly. Try and respond as quickly as possible because it's a nice way of building your network. It's another way of saying, if somebody's reaching out to me for this particular at this particular time, there's probably a reason why they want to connect with me. So it's not about waiting for another 6 weeks before I can actually respond to you. Then you're actually no longer interested. You've already found the information that you're looking for. So those are some of the things that for me are very, very important. So remember that don't overshare your personal information. Avoid spamming. Don't badmouth your previous employers or your managers. Refrain from controversial and polarizing posts. Don't ignore your privacy settings. And lastly, avoid inappropriate profile elements. And then the do's these are things that I've done and I do on a daily basis, and they've gotten me the jobs that I've got now is complete and update your LinkedIn profile. Be active and engage genuinely. Don't just engage for the sake of engaging. Share industry messages, share industry things that you want people to know about the industry that you're in. Personalize your connection requests because people want to see why you want to connect with them. Seek recommendation and endorsements. Use professional tone whenever you type in messages. Stop this WhatsApp message type of writing. And lastly, be responsive when people try to connect with you. Once again, top of the morning with Tshidi. Looking forward to the comments that I'll hear about this video, guys. Until next time, peace.